In this video, we're going to be talking about where to start with AI for your business and how to get serious about using AI in your business. My name is Colette Kemp, and I'm going to be walking you through a live demo. I actually do these on Wednesdays at 2 p.m., and there'll be a link in the description for this if you want to join one of the live sessions. But for today, we're recording it, and let's get started. So, to start using AI for your business, you're probably already using it. Okay. If you're like most of the people I speak to, which are small business owners, consultants, service business owners, you are probably using a mix of things. You might be using ChatGPT. You may now be using Claude and a little bit of Claude Cowork. You may have heard of Perplexity and be using that for your research. You may have, I spoke to a gentleman recently who he's built a couple of zaps. This is how you connect automations and build out little automations in your businesses. So if there's a trigger, like if an email comes in that says this, then we get it to do that type of thing. And that's how you build out workflows and automations. So if you have been tinkering, now it's time to get serious. So the first thing that you will want to do is stop tinkering. Okay. Just pick a lane. So I used to use ChatGPT all the time. I have always been on the paid version. I used the free version initially. I started using it in December 2022. I don't use ChatGPT anymore. I did build a custom GPT for my business a little while ago. I was in the business of doing lots and lots of consulting, and some of that consulting involved valuations. I'm now very heavy into AI consulting for businesses. But when I was doing more valuations, business valuations, I created a tool called Valuation Buddy. And it was a custom GPT where I could share the link with business owners and they could plug in some general information and it would give them an estimated value range for their business. So that's one example of something you could do in ChatGPT. I have since moved out of that and I'm exclusively dating Claude at the moment, just because I can do so much more work. It's more professional, it's more reliable, it's more polished, and I just feel like I can get more done. I do see business owners using ChatGPT as kind of an extension of Google. And what we're going to talk about today is, well, a couple of things. So how to actually get AI doing the work for you. So where do you start? Well, you start by picking what tools you're going to use. So today we're just going to really focus on Claude, okay? First thing I want to teach you about today, if you don't already know about this, and I'm shocked that more people don't know about this, but I'm going to open it up for you so you can see it. And I'm going to put it over on the other screen. Hang on a second. So this is a tool called Whisperflow. And if I bring it over here so you can see it, oops. You'll see over here, it's this is what the app icon looks like. So Whisperflow, it is an AI dictation tool, but it's a little bit different from the tool that you use on your phone or on your computer, because you don't have to say things like comma, space, new line. You just talk into it very naturally. And I'm going to show you. I'll give you an example. So I'll bring it back over here. Let me actually open up a flow for you. Okay, so this is how you use it. So that's what it looks like. I just gave you that. Okay, that's what the icon looks like. You can see all the words I have. I'm doing 126 words per minute, which I could never, ever do typing. So this is a massive time saver. Okay, so let's go over here. And to start, sorry about that. Let's get that out there. Okay, to start, I'm using it on a MacBook, but you can use it on your phone. You can use it anywhere. But I press function and the space bar, and you can see now it's there. So, okay, can you tell us a little bit about how to prompt? Today in my presentation, I'm going to be teaching my guests how to build a digital employee. And it's really important that we learn to properly prompt as part of the setup. So I would like to create a digital employee that will follow up with my prospects. So when I've had contact with somebody, I would like to keep in touch with them, and I would like to search for things and build out information about them that would be meaningful for future contact, where I can actually provide them with useful information about AI and AI tools for their business. Okay, so and now I just pushed function and the spacebar again, and as you can see, it's perfect. I mean, you don't have to go back and edit things. So Whisperflow, you have to be using Whisperflow if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and you're going to be using things like Claude. You're going to have to provide so much context and data and text to get some of these AI employees set up that this is going to be a huge time saver. So if I typed this, it would take me double the time because I'm not a very good typer and I would make mistakes and have to backspace and all of that stuff. So that, my friends, is how you use Whisperflow. So the first thing, okay, so we've covered Whisperflow. The next thing we're going to be going through is how do you work in Claude? So this is Claude Co-work, okay? I'm going to show you around a little bit. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm showing you my actual workspace so you can see what I'm doing. This is, real work. These are my real files. And I'm going to show you behind the scenes so that you can do the same. Okay, before I start building, let me make sure I'm producing the right thing. You ask pairs of a teaching moment. Oh, so it's always going to ask you questions. So you know what? We're going to skip this for now. We'll come back. Wrap up. We'll come back to this. I'll tell you about that after. Okay, so this is co-work. And also in here we have code. But for the most part, I'm working in co-work all the time. Let's go back. Here we go. So here's co-work. This is your regular chat. Okay. And then this is co-work over here. And then in these over here, you have a list of choices. So when you're working in co-work, there are several things that can happen. Claude can do things for you on your computer. So you can set tasks, you can have projects. We're going to go through all that. But Claude can actually do things for you as opposed to you're in co-work, as opposed to in chat. You ask it a question, it gives you information, and you go do the thing, right? But when you work in co-work, you can have a project, have a chat going, and then you can get Claude to do the thing. So that's why I like it so much, because you can get it to do work for you. Okay. Now, something to know. Well, co-work, when it does do tasks, one of the things that's a little bit funny, I saw a post on X the other day and people were posting, so when Claude Co-work is running, what do you do? And then people were like, scroll social media. So it's going to be, you'll see when we run a task, you actually have to wait for it and let it run. So first thing we will do is we'll go to a new task. We're going to ignore that one. Now you'll see down here, I'm in a folder. This is my executive assistant called Joanna. I have other folders that you can see, and go back now. Oh, I have this one starred, so it always goes into this folder. Okay, so that's where we're going to be working. Now, Joanna is an executive assistant that I built, and I went through the process of creating skills for Joanna. I gave my executive assistant a name because otherwise it just felt too weird to just be asking for my EA. So I've created skills. Skills they tell Claude how to do the task. So you have to think of skills like an SOP. Next, there are connectors, and this gives Claude access to tools on your computer. And then there are scheduled tasks. So we're going to go through all of these things. So let's start with, let's see. Let's go into projects and let's make a new project. Start from scratch. And we're going to call this, we will be demoing how to set up an agent. We're going to create. Now, also notice that the file lives on your local computer as well. So it says choose project location. So this is going to be in Claude projects. And you'll see down here that the memory is on. I am signed up for, I believe I'm on on Claude Max, just because I was using it for a lot of work and I kept running out of tokens. Or credits reset every 5 hours. So it's like a rolling usage and it resets. So let's see mine. Let's see what it says here. I don't think it tells me on my computer when it resets. Do plans, max from 100. Okay, never mind. Okay, so let's go to customize. This is where we're going to find connectors. Remember I talked about connectors? So this is where you give permission and you connect things so that Claude can actually go around and do things on your computer. So tool permissions, I have everything set to needs approval. You can set things to not needing approval, always allow. And then over here, we have all of the things that are connected. So I currently have Calendly, Canva, Fireflies, Gamma, GitHub, Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, HubSpot, Notion, and Slack. So that means that they can connect on the web. Desktop, I have Chrome, Control Your Mac, because that means it can access it. What I'll do is say I'll have something open, and I'll say I want you to do XYZ in, let's say, Figma, and it will go and control my PC, my laptop. Not connected down here, you'll see these. So let's see, what shall we connect? Let's find something. We'll browse connectors over here. You can see we can connect to Zoom. We're currently in Riverside FM, but you can connect Monday, which is a project management tool, Microsoft, Canva, Notion, Adobe, Airtable, NetSuite, Granola. Granola is your meeting app. Meeting note taker, I'm sorry. Zapier, Asana. And then if you want to find out if a tool is available to be connected, so let's say if I want to connect Riverside FM, nope, it's not there. And say I want to connect Meta, no. Facebook, we do Facebook? No, no, because Facebook's tricky, right? Instagram, well, N8N is there. HubSpot, Jotform. Okay, so if you want to search something and see if it's available to connect, that's how you do that. Oh, and so, all right, so that covers connectors. Okay, so you've got Whisperflow for being able to speak in and give instructions so you're not stuck typing as you set all this stuff up. You have connectors, which you've seen you're going to want to connect your tools. So that would be your calendar, so that you can have your calendar managed. See if there's anything else I want to share with you on connectors. Filter by, interactive, desktop, code. So you can have categories. So business productivity, we could do design, which was Canva should be in there. Financial services, Stripe, you can connect. Productivity, sales and marketing. Okay, so those are all of your categories for connecting. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is skills. So there are, Claude has created some skills where you can kind of pre-fill the skills. I don't do that because I look at it as this, if I'm building an agent that's going to work for me, I'm building an employee. So I want to do that myself from scratch because I want them to be, trained properly. And I think if things are generic, you tend to get generic outputs. But let's take a look at the skills that they have. So this is a skill creator, and create new skills, modify skills from scratch, skill creator, a skill for creating new skills and improving them. At a high level, the process of creating a skill goes like this. So you can follow this and then do it yourself, or you could use this skill creator. So decide what you want the skill to do and roughly how it should do it. Write a draft of the skill, create a few test prompts and run Claude with access to the skill on them. Help the user evaluate the results both qualitatively and quantitatively. While the runs happen in the background, draft some quantitative evals if there aren't any. God, that's a lot of words, right? Okay, let me see if we can get this in regular terms. Rewrite the skill based on feedback. So this is basically a skill to create a skill. So you're going to create a skill and then you're going to run this skill to make sure that you create the skill properly, which could definitely be a good idea, right? But I think, like I said, for me, I want to create the skills myself because I want it to be exactly as I want it. So this is installed. Let's go back and see what else we have. Skills. Co-authoring, brand guidelines, Slack GIF creator. So pretty useful. Let's installed, not installed, sort by. Let's do A to Z. Okay. Most popular skill creator is the most popular, 30,000 downloads. Well, no, it's not the most popular. Canvas design is 349,000. Okay, so you get the general idea on skills. I'm going to show you how to build out skills next. Okay, so these are all our connectors. We've got those going. I've got everything that I need to give my agent access to. So, how to prompt. Can you give us advice on how to prompt in a way that we can create a very detailed skill for an agent that we are setting up? What's the best approach? How many words should it be? And what should we include? So whenever you don't know how to do something in AI, you will ask AI to teach you, and that's the best approach. But you will be the person making all the decisions and checking all the work and reading everything before anything goes live, before anything goes sent. I definitely think of this as more of intern level work as you're getting set up. So you're going to want to be checking everything yourself. Good question. And a timely one, given we've been building out skills for the whole team, because that's what I've been doing. Here's what actually works based on what we've learned writing yours, Nadia, Marcus, and Stephen. So Nadia is my marketing coordinator. Marcus is my strategic partner. And then Stephen is my process creator. So creating all my SOPs and repeatable processes. The biggest mistake people make, they write a skill like a job description. This agent handles marketing content and helps with social media posts. That tells the model what, but not when, how, or what failure looks like. A vague skill becomes a vague agent. A good skill reads more like a training manual for a new hire who's starting tomorrow, has no context, and will do exactly what you say. No more, no less. The approach, work backwards from failure. Before you write a single word, answer these. What job is the agent doing? One sentence. Okay. So what job is the agent doing? I would like, you know what? I want to make a sales rep agent. So what job is the agent doing? The agent is, let's see, one sentence. We're going to answer these. And this is where I use Whisperflow too in the interview process or when it's brainstorming. So we're going to go ahead and just go with the flow and get this done. What job is the agent doing? This is a sales agent responsible for following up and reviewing objections to ensure that we can offer the prospect the right information that they need to make a decision to book a call with our human and be ready to talk about the sale and close the sale. That's not one sentence, is it? Okay, I'm going to try that again. What What job is the agent doing? One sentence. Responsible for following up with prospects and providing information so that they are ready to book a call with a human to buy. How about that? We're going to do that. This is a sales agent. Okay, so that's our one sentence. Okay, we're going to do two. Who's the user and what do they already know? Well, that's interesting, right? So the user is me. My name's Colette Kemp, and I already know my entire sales process. I know my prospecting process. I know my buy. I know my ideal clients. I know both tracks of my business that we're selling. I've spoken to every single person. We're a small business, and we have a very hands-on sales process. Okay, that's what I already know. And let's see what else. 3. What does a great output like? Find 2 to 3 examples. A great output would look like the potential client booking a call and wanting to speak to a human about the offering because they are enthusiastic. They've received enough information, whether it be an invitation to a free event or a customized report that they were expecting, and then details to handle objections along the way. So they will receive very, very customized drips of information that are helpful to them. And they've also been qualified to make sure that we really can help them. Okay, that's that. So you can send big blocks of text. It's okay, but we're going to run out. Of course, we're going to run out of space now. What job is the agent doing? Who's the user? What's a great output? What does a bad output look like? That's good. Let's see what other questions are up there. Okay, so I'm going to send this. Here's the initial 1, 2, 3 answered, and I'm going to answer number 4 next. Okay, so as you can see, building the agents themselves is a very detailed process. It's not something that you're going to do in the middle of your workday. So if you are a business owner that's watching this, you're going to want to do, you're going to want to do this in the evenings or on the weekends. I spoke to a business owner recently and she is working long hours getting a lot of this stuff set up, but she's going to reap the benefit afterwards because once she has everything set up, then that time, she will get that time back. And these agents will do actual work for her. So it's a very good investment of her time if you are going to do it yourself. If you're not going to do it yourself and someone else on your team is, they should be able to explain to you how they are going to set up these agents, just the same way I'm doing with the same level of detail, because otherwise you're going to get poor outcomes. Okay, so got it. A few things I'm noticing before you move to 4 worth naming now so they end up in the skill later. On number 1, you've actually described 2 jobs in 1 sentence: nurture, follow up, provide info, handle objections, and qualify. Make sure we can help them. These need different logic. Nurture is about building readiness. Qualification is a filter. Okay. The skill should treat them as linked but separate steps so the agent knows when to disqualify versus when it's still warming. Also worth deciding when the agent disqualifies someone, does it politely close the loop or just flag you? Those are different outputs. So, I love this because there may be people out there that are watching this going, this is a yawner, but this is the work, right? This is what you do to build an agent. And this is what you would do to create a job for an employee. Many people don't. Many people just hire somebody, plonk them in a seat and let them shadow someone for 2 days and then can't understand why the employee can't get stuff done on their own. This is the same thing. Okay. So it's flagging me for that, which is good. On number 2, this is actually your biggest advantage. And most people writing sales agent skills miss this. Because you know everything, the skill doesn't need to teach the agent your business. It needs to execute your playbook. That changes the word count too. A lot of what would normally BICP offer context can be a single line pointing to the existing SureStep marketing pitch and SureStep messaging foundation skills rather than restated. learn a skill, less drift. So it's saying that we have an advantage here, me, because all of the information is available. We already have our ICP. We know how we're serving customers. We know who we want to reach. We know what we're offering them. And we have very deep knowledge of that. On number 3, very, very customized drips is the hardest part to systematize and the easiest place for the agent to fake it. That's pretty good. Right now, that sentence could mean 5 different things. Before we write the skill, the agent needs explicit criteria for what to customize on. Track 1 versus track 2 industry. Which offer they engaged with, workshop versus quick win versus ops review, how warm they are, what objection they last raised, otherwise customized, becomes rephrased. 3 things you haven't said yet that will shape the skill for when you are ready. Channel. So it's explaining to me that I've up here that this is really hard to get into one skill because I'm saying very, very customized. So that's flagging me for that. Okay, so the channel is email, LinkedIn DM, HubSpot sequence, all 3, voice shifts by channel. Autonomy, given your phase 1 EA rules. So I gave phase 1 EA rules when I was building my executive assistant, all outbound flagged first. I'd assume this is draft only too, but worth saying explicitly so the skill bakes it in. So what I want to remind you again is that when I said I was going to build and I was building these things, I really am. And this really is my file. This is my business. And I'm sharing that with you. Autonomy, the handoff trigger. So we need a handoff trigger. What signal tells the agent stop nurturing, book the call now, explicit ask, specific behavior, engagement score. Okay, great. So we're going to do number 4, which was up here. Nope, hang on. And I have a rule for all my agents. I want sources for everything. I want to be able to check where they're getting information from because as we all know, these language models can hallucinate, and I don't want that. I want to know where it's coming from. I had it happen just the other day where I asked for some information and it seemed really old. And I said, I asked, where did you get that from? And it said, well, my cutoff date is January 2024. And that's not going to work, right, for research. Okay, so let's go back to number 4. Test by throwing 3 real tasks at the skill and see where it breaks. Okay. So that's something I was going to teach you about. But when you are training these agents, okay, you are going to do all of this stuff to set them up. You're going to create the skills, you're going to connect the tools and do all of that. But then once you have it set up, you have to train it on real tasks. You can't say, okay, that's it, go off to work now. You have to go through a task with it step by step and then analyze that task and tell it where it went wrong and tell it where it went right. And that's going to update the skill and make sure that it refines what it's supposed to be doing. So it says number 4 here is test by throwing 3 real tasks at the skill and see where it breaks. Then patch those specific gaps. Don't rewrite. Iterate live. Don't rewrite. Okay, that's important. So don't rewrite it. Patch those specific gaps. So you can then tell your agent, hey, you need to fix this. That wasn't correct. And update your skill. You literally tell it that so it goes and does it. Iterate live. Every time you correct the agent's output in a real session, update the skill in place. So you will tell it to update the skill. You either have to set a rule that that's going to happen, or you have to remember to tell it. That's how Nadia went from generic to Slay Sharp. So we follow a model for LinkedIn writing called Slay. It's created by a lovely young woman who's really successful on LinkedIn called Lara Acosta, and it's called the Slay Formula. And so my marketing coordinator initially was just producing vanilla posts, vanilla content, vanilla topics, and then we got her sharpened in on that. The unsexy truth. This has been my experience. Nobody writes a great skill on the first pass. What separates a good skill from a mediocre one is the number of real-world corrections that got written back into it. your memory system already does this for you for universal rules. So it's saying for me, your memory system already does this for universal rules. So I set, because as you start using these things and getting deeper and deeper into it, you realize that there's a problem. And then you realize you have to go and, okay, I need to make a universal rule for that, because you realize that you're repeating yourself and you're saying the same 5 things over and over every time something happens. Your memory system already does this for you. Apply the same discipline to skill files themselves. And if you want to go straight to building one, you already have the skill creator skill installed. So I do have it installed. Thank you. It's designed for exactly this, and it'll walk you through the structure. Use it as scaffolding, then lay your specifics on top. So that was that skill creator that we were looking at together a few minutes ago. Okay, and there are my sources. Okay, so let me see, number 4. Okay, so we're not going to do a test yet. We're just going to make sure that we have everything. Okay, so to build this skill so that this agent can be successful, do we need to break it down? So that the first thing I'm going to assign the agent to be doing today is I have a series of prospects that I would like to make sure that I'm paying attention to them, their business, their needs, what signals they're putting out into the market, so that, as I follow up with them, I don't just say, hey, following up. I focus on what their actual needs are. And so for that follow-up sequence, should we just build that as its own agent, a follow-up agent, or should it all be entirely in with the sales agent? There we go. And after this as well, I'm going to show you scheduled tasks. Okay, a good salesperson doesn't switch between monitoring mode and follow-up mode. Those are the same muscle. Noticing a signal is the follow-up trigger. If you split them, the follow-up agent, okay. Yeah, so if if you split them, the follow-up agent has to read the monitoring agent's notes. So that's something that I've set up for all of my agents. They all have to know what each other can do. And we have, let me just show you quickly. We have a Slack channel for that. Wait, let's get rid of this because we don't need those slides. Thank you. Oh, don't need that. Okay, 2 things. I'll show you Slack, and then I also want to show you that this is the right here is where all these files live. So any files that my agents or Claude Cowork is using, they are on my desktop and they're here. So randomly, I'll have my executive assistant tidy up the filing. That's that. And then let me get you to Slack. There's my dog. It's going to be over here. I've got 2 screens going, so bear with me. I'll go here. Hang on a second. You know what? I'll show you on my phone in a second so you can see, because that's where I look at it. So I do have all these agents have a Slack channel, and everybody can post things to Slack when there are updates. That's another thing. We'll do scheduled tasks and we'll do Slack messages. Scheduled tasks and Slack. Okay. Let's see what we need to do next. Good salesperson doesn't switch. Watching. The real split isn't function. It's by where the prospect is. So watching, cold, dormant, monitor signals, warming, engaging, qualifying, serious interest, ready, move to book a call, booked or disqualified. So the skills should tell the agent what mode a prospect is in based on observable signals. Okay, so I received an email back from somebody this week, and they said that, I would definitely be hearing from them. I've done a few projects for them already, smaller projects, and they may be ready to upgrade. So that would be the signal there, would be that they do need a follow-up, right? Where a split might make sense. Signal monitoring is where a split might make sense, because I was asking if the skills should be split. Just as you would have, if you had one person at the company, you wouldn't just give them everything. You wouldn't have social media doing HR, answering the phones. And that's the way I was thinking about it. Signal monitoring is research heavy and can run periodically. Daily sweep of prospects, LinkedIn, company news, industry moves. That could be a supporting skill or a sub-agent of the sales agent, not a separate peer. Think the agent has a research muscle and uses it rather than two agents talking to each other. Okay. Two things before we go further. One, the prospect you want to pay attention to today, is this a one-time batch or the start of an ongoing process? Very different architecture. Who on the team owns this? Right now you have Marcus, Joanna, Nadia, Stephen. None of them own sales. Okay, so it would be a new. This is a persistent agent. It's a fifth team member. Worth deciding now so the skill gets built. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be an independent agent. So this would be a fifth team member. A couple of other things I need to share with you about this. So currently you do have to be on the desktop app. You cannot do this on a web browser. Web browser is just for lighter work like chatting, and you also can't do it on your phone. The phone app, it does have a tool called Dispatch, which is over here, which will allow you to chat and start up tasks, but I've yet to be able to get it to work. I'm just going to actually get my phone and see if anything has changed on that. And then I'll also show you my Slack. All right, so here we are. Let's go to Slack. Okay. So as you can see, I've got Slack on my phone. And so when I go in here, hopefully you can see that I have channels for all the agents. So when they do work, then in Slack, they have to go and update me and tell me that something is done. So this is Joanna. This is the executive assistant. And that way I can kind of keep track of things, where things are at, what's happening. So they do a task, whether that be scheduled or whether it be something that I'm having them work on in a project. And then when there's an update on that, this is where they will do it. They have their own channels. And let's see, we have a morning briefing channel. This one here, all my morning briefs come through, so I know what I need to be doing for the day. Joanna, my executive assistant, is responsible for doing that for me. We have a team room. This is where, if it's something that's pertaining to all of them, it gets posted there. But this is a great way for me to keep up with what's happening and then know what I need to be doing. I have alerts here. Alerts is anything that's time sensitive, but I haven't had anything come through there yet, so I have to check that. And this is Stephen. He's the ops agent, so he's just posted on 10/22 today. He posted what he was working on, the workshop warm-up sequence. So that was for this workshop. He was getting a sequence together for it so that we could keep inviting people. Okay, next, let's see. All right, we're at 40 minutes. I'm going to, about 10 more minutes, show you a couple more things, and then we'll wrap up. Good. Okay, so we're back to building the agent. I said it was going to be an independent sales agent. Claude is saying, good, that's the right call. Name the role. So I'm going to, I don't know, what should we call what's a good name for a salesman? How about Johnny? Let's see. Name the role. This person needs a name that fits the role. I'd suggest something like sales development lead. Oh, I called him Johnny. Oops. Okay. Business development lead. There we go. Sales agent is too generic. Scope, what this person owns end to end. My proposed boundary. So this is good, right? It's helping me. So it's giving me the end to end based on the information I have given it. So owns warm prospect monitoring, signal intelligent, follow-up drafting, qualification, nurture sequence, design, objection handling, call booking, tracks every warm prospect state across sessions, owns, and there's the projects folder, as well as the work territory, drafts only. I'm going to approve everything that goes out. Doesn't own cold outbound. Okay. The handoff, Joanna, new agent, when a workshop attendee or embedded. Okay, that's you. That's you guys. Hi, workshop attendees. Marcus, New agent, new agent. Okay, so it's just giving handoff sequences, setup requirements per your ops manual, skill file, role doc, onboarding. So, so these are the requirements that I have in my operations manual. So I told them that we need to start building a knowledge hub so that everything is going into one place. Because as we build out this stuff, you know how that goes, even with humans, right? As you build a business, it's good when you add like 1, 2, 3, 4 people. You've got a handle on everything. You know what's going on, what everyone's doing. You had 5 people, 6, 7, 8, and suddenly you don't know what everybody's doing and why they don't connect and why they're not working together and why this one doesn't know what that one's doing. So that's exactly what I was trying to avoid here. It was starting to happen a little bit. So I created an ops manual. So these are all the things inside of there. We have the skill file, the role doc, the onboarding brief. We have the Slack channel, which I just showed you. That's where they have to ping me whenever they finish something or if there's anything I need to be aware of. We have a team huddle. We have a digital workforce ops manual. And we have a state of play. Memory entry noting the team is now a 5-person team. One more thing worth deciding, does this agent push back on your strategy? So I have a rule. AI, as you may, how could you not know this? It's super agreeable and it's scary because you could be making decisions that are, if you're using it as a strategic partner to brainstorm, you could be making decisions that are completely wrong. So all of my team members have a rule where they have to push back on my strategy. So yeah, everybody has to give pushback because otherwise I have a bunch of yes men, right? And we don't want that in a company. Okay, so we're going to say business development lead. That's the job title. And yes, the rule is every single agent, every single digital employee that is set up on our team must have the pushback rule. I have no interest in running a bunch of yes people because that's scary. I am one person and I've got knowledge and intuition, but I can be wrong. When there's pushback, I would like a why. I'd like it to be based in fact, not necessarily opinion. Okay, so there we go. So that's kind of how I handle that's the problem, that the LLMs are kind of like, oh, that's wonderful. That's such a great idea. You're so right. And, half the time you're not. There was somebody posted put a post on X and they said, hey, Claude, I'm going to go and wash my car. Here's the location. How should I get there? And it said you should walk. And they posted this whole thread where it corrected it and it said, but what about the car? I need the car to get washed. Oh, great point. Good catch. Take the car there and then drop it off or something. So that's what we want to be careful of. We want to tell these agents that they are never to be agreeable. They are always to push back and make sure that they have facts available for us when we're making decisions. Okay, so we have business development lead, pushback rules sharpened in memory. Every team member now owes you a fact-based why, not an opinion when they push back. That's a real upgrade. Saved. Okay. One note on that rule before we move. It means the business development lead has to read evidence before it pushes back. Prospect history in your memory, 100K plan. No. I baked that into the schools. No pushback without cited why. Well, okay. 3 pieces still open. First name. I think we're going to call him Johnny. Johnny. Channels it operates in email, HubSpot, LinkedIn, Slack. So for this business development agent, I need for them to be able to do research on the person's company. I need him to be on social media and be looking at what people are up to. I don't mean like I don't mean to spy on people or anything, but I just need this person to be in business development. So, being able to find people on LinkedIn, see what they're posting about, possibly also if the company has any news, any job openings, any new Google reviews, just things that would allow us as a team to understand the clients better and, maybe preempt some needs that they may not know they have. A lot of people don't know that the AI has solutions for them, and we are the guide that's helping them to figure that out. So we want to be able to say, hey, I noticed this, and this would be really helpful for you. So I think being online, almost the way a human would be really helpful, just to see what's going on out there in the world. So I'm not sure what other connectors there need to be for that. So again, that's why I'm using Whisperflow, because then you can just talk freely and you don't have to worry too much about how many words. Excuse me, yawning. Okay, so we're just about getting wrapped up. So I'll show you the agent going to work. We're going to give him a job to do. And then I will show you how to schedule a task for him. And then that was it for today. We did Whisperflow, how to prompt properly, skills, what skills are, how to use the skills creator skill that's pre-made for you, which I said I didn't use, but I guess I do use it. I just don't want I don't want skills that are built for me. I want to build them out like this. So I don't mind the framework, but as you can see, I want to do that myself. Then we're going to do scheduled tasks. And when we do get to scheduled tasks, you'll need to know that your computer has to be on. So a great time to schedule your tasks is different times in the evening. So when you get up in the morning, you have certain repetitive work has been done, but you're going to have to leave your computer on. You can't turn it off. So I have my MacBook set to always stay awake, and then it just gets on with it at night for me. Okay, Johnny is good name. Before I give you the connector answer, one thing on the spying worry. What you're describing isn't spying. It's the same research a good human salesperson does before a meeting. Public posts, public job boards, public reviews, public company news. The line is public signals. The line is public signals someone who is choosing to broadcast versus private data you shouldn't have. Yeah. Johnny stays on the public side. That's the line. I build it into the skill. So yeah, we don't want to be crossing the line with people and snooping on there. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that and seeing what people are doing personally. Try to keep it business focused and look at how we can help them that way. Let me check the registry for anything useful we don't have the answer, and answer the connector question properly. Ooh, okay. So it's got 3 connectors for us: research, Falcon, Pendo, 10 connectors. Good news and bad news. LinkedIn reality check. Yeah, LinkedIn is definitely strict. There is no LinkedIn clean MCP, nothing in the registry for LinkedIn active. I kind of knew that. Sales Navigator. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like Sales Navigator. And I don't think it's worth the money. LinkedIn actively blocks third-party scrapers. Okay, I knew that. Claude in Chrome. Johnny browses LinkedIn as if he were you, reads posts. That's the best option. Yeah, so I can open up LinkedIn, I can open up Chrome and let it go onto my LinkedIn and just browse and see what people are doing. Aggressive browsing patterns can trip LinkedIn's rate limits, so Johnny has to behave like a human, batched, not every 30 seconds, which I'm not going to have this agent on my LinkedIn, because you would see if it's on my browser, I can't really do much. I have to wait. So I've heard of people getting a second computer and just having the AI work on that. I keep 2 screens, and that works just fine for me. Apollo already connected, gives me a baseline of information. Manual feed, you share LinkedIn activity observations. So I can share my own observations. Chrome is primary, Apollo is the data layer. And I'm not really. Good news, a few connectors in this registry actually fit. It's heavily purpose-built web search for agents, better than raw web data. Okay, Indeed. Yeah, I like Indeed because you can see if people are hiring and kind of whether the company's growing and what's going on there. Apollo, I have that. Aura, future workforce and analytics. Oh, that's pretty good. Local Falcon, local intelligence for Google Business Profile monitoring. That's good. What to skip? Lunar Crush, crypto focus. No. Okay. Signal flow. So what we'll do is connect those. We've got Claude already. We'll add. See, it's telling me what to add. Okay. Gmail. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. We have Indeed. And what was that one? Tably. Okay. Slack. Yeah, we already have those. Okay. So we're only missing 2. Once Johnny is running, Johnny runs a daily sweep and watch list. Okay. Flags you in Slack. See, so I'll get a Slack notification for approval on prospect activity. Agents that do search on demand feel sharper. Autonomy. Okay, it's asking questions now. Still 3 questions open. Johnny drafts in Gmail. Yeah. Yes, number 1, I'd like a draft in Gmail. HubSpot notes and Slack. Yeah, those can be, notes can go straight in there. LinkedIn. Autonomy, same phase 1 rule as the rest of the team. Drafts, nothing sent without your approval. Yes, for now. Handoff trigger. Still the biggest open question. What signal tells Johnny to stop nurturing and push for the call? I think if there's been a reply that says, not right now, or I'm not interested right now. And then, we can just mark it. Some people may be, may never be a fit. But if they reply and just say, I'm not interested anymore or something, then we would just stop following up or stop, trying to be helpful. Oh, there we go. Okay. And there we are. So I believe it's going to build the agent now. So that's taken us, we are 56 minutes. So, that's the work that you have to do. But like I say, once you set them up, it's taking work off your plate. So this is something that I think it's great. I liked hiring for that reason. I don't have a team right now. I'm fully exploring working with a digital team. I definitely will add on some humans, but I really want to get this stuff going first. And then we will have humans managing the AI. That's how we're going to do it. Channels and autonomy locked, disqualifying, exit, push call for trigger. When Johnny shifts from nurture mode to close mode, is the one still missing? Okay. Explicit ask, can we chat? Want to learn more about the ops review? Buying language. They start asking pricing, timing. Yeah, stacked engagement, 2 or more meaningful engagements. Signal response. So basically what it's doing here, it's saying, when do we convert them to a sales call? Johnny stops 90 plus days of 0 engagement. Yeah, I think so. We don't want to keep nagging people. One piece of pushback you said may never be a fit, but let's see. So here we are, we're over here. That's fine as philosophy, relationship compound, but if Johnny treats every prospect at the same intensity, he'll dilute his attention and miss one worth pushing. Okay, so I'm going to agree with that. Yes, I'm going to agree with that. Because we're going to refine this. We're going to do some work and I'm going to find things that don't work and I'll be able to make a correction then. Okay, we are almost at an hour, so we're going to be wrapping up this workshop. And this will be on YouTube. So hopefully it's been helpful for everyone today. Okay, we're thinking. And over here, while thinking, this is where scheduled tasks are. And I'll show you that in 1 second and then we'll wrap. Okay, Johnny, business development lead, 5th digital team member. Yep, got that. Escalates to a call. That's the spine. Good enough to write the skill before we draft. Voice markers to daily rhythm. More questions. Yeah. Well, that's just what we have to do. We have to answer them. Okay, let's go. So we want the voice. Warm but direct, genuinely helpful. Yes, we always. So I'm building all these agents with a Gary V first. I love his philosophies, and yes, Gary V first, and then also we have some memory in there about Seth Godin, and he suggests that people help your customer, see who your customer wants to be or what they want to accomplish and help them to become that. So I think that's in line with Gary V. Daily rhythm, every morning, Monday, drafts. Any adjustments? Let's see. So daily rhythm, every morning. Oh no, it's going to be every day. Yeah, so Johnny's going to work every day because sales is the most important function in our business. Output formats, Johnny drafted email, Gmail, HubSpot, Slack handoff, each need a template. Without templates, he'll write a different one every time. I propose we write one for each of inside the skills. Okay, so now we need templates. That's where it's probably if you're watching it or if you're still watching it, I don't know if you would be, but this is the work. So, we just have to get it done. Well, without templates, let's see. Johnny spots a signal. Where does it go so it compounds? Yeah, I agree with HubSpot. We're going to do that. Yeah. So for now, I'm going to take all the proposals and then I'm going to get to work. And then what I'll do is the first 3 tasks I'll do with Johnny, the business development agent. And then I will refine because I'll see how the work goes and I'll be able to see the output. Let's see. Tempo question. Yep. Tempo question. Building Johnny properly is a real chunk of work. Skill, file, Slack, huddle, ops manual, state of play. 3 options. Knock out the remaining specifics now. Schedule this as its own dedicated work session. Treat it like we did with Nadia. Draft V1 of the skill using my best guess on the 5 options, and you react to the draft rather than answering in the abstract. So we're going to go with C for now. Nope. I think I'm gonna do A because if we knock out the specifics, I can be asked questions, and that's going to be a much more productive use of my time. Now I won't keep you for that. I tell you what I'm going to do. Interesting. I just recorded that whole thing. Okay, what I want to do is I want to wrap up for now, and then I want to be able to open this back up in a new session. What would be my prompt for opening? So that's something else you could do. If you need to stop and go off and do something else, I have a rule that says whenever I say wrap up, everything gets logged, everything gets logged to memory, nothing gets lost. It goes in the knowledge hub, it goes into all the places it needs to so that my digital team have access to this. And then when I want to open up another session, I'm obviously staying in my executive assistant file. And that's the project that I work in. And then we'll open it up and we'll go back into it when I'm ready. Your prompt will be Johnny skill build next session. So that's all I have to remember. Okay, it's logging everything. Want me to run the full closeout now? Yes. Yeah, because you don't want to log off these things and not double check that everything's been saved because we've just spent an hour working on a sales agent. We want that all to be logged. I'm pretty sure I have everything set up to save anyway, but it's just worth mentioning. And while they're doing that, we will go to the last thing, which is scheduled. Okay, scheduled tasks. This is where these live, and you can see scheduled tasks only run when your computer is awake. So I keep mine awake all the time. I'll shut it down maybe once a week to give it a rest, but it's on all the time now. So I have a morning briefing. I have an end of day summary. Let's see. You want to see my morning briefing? So let's run my task. Yeah, so I could click run now. I'll tell you what it is though. 7 a.m. briefing, calendar, urgent email, unanswered. So all of this is how it's all set up. This is how it's connected. These are the steps to execute. And this comes to me like this. This is the email. It's not an email, actually. It comes in Notion. It goes to Notion, I'm sorry. goes to Notion and it goes to Slack, because Slack I just added because I didn't want to be looking for things in loads of places. I wanted to be able to see it on my phone. So this is how it comes through, and that will be in Slack every single morning. Repeats every day at 7 a.m. That's interesting. That's turned off. Huh. Today. Yeah. So see, I have it. This is the log of all of them. And then I have it repeating. I had an error, I see. Every day, 7 a.m. Weird. That was off. It's not supposed to be off. And that is that. That's how you do scheduled tasks. So you would set it up. And if you want to set up a new task, you go back, you go, yeah, see, it was missed. That's interesting. It's running it now because it missed it. And then we have new task. And this is how you set it up. Name, description in here. And then work in project, frequency, manual. Oh yeah, so you can do it manually where you just run it whenever you want, because you have that run now. Hourly, daily, weekends, weekly. And then this is where you put all the details in. It has a default model. You can choose the different models of Claude to use to run the task. Okay, and that's it. We are at 1 hour and 7 minutes for this workshop. I thank you for coming. I will post this to YouTube, and if you have questions, you can reach out to me at Colette Kemp at LinkedIn, and I'm going to put links in the notes. And we do these every Wednesday at 2 p.m. live. You can click on the link to register. Thanks.